We are now live. Looks like Badass and Dizzy are here. Good to see you, Jads.
All right.
Yeah. All right. And edit the banner. Sarah, what was it? Ike. All right. Very cool. I think, well, we're ready to start, man. I'm just going to blast into it here.
Do I fucking dare you?
All right. Just got to find the media. It's well hidden from it. They've put so much shit in here to make it hard to find now. It's not fun.
Where's the button?
Here we go.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
This here is a true story about crossing the pond at night in the world's smallest cockpit on the tanker through the weather. Oh, and to the tanker crew who did that, thanks a lot. We really appreciated that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond.
And so there I was crossing the pond over the North Atlantic in the middle of the night and upside down and pointed towards the water.
What?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Holy shit, I didn't see that coming, Ike.
Well, you didn't because it was at the nighttime. And I have only myself to blame for it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well,
you know how that whole Norway deployment started?
Yes.
On the rendezvous over the top of Cherry Point.
Oh, let's come back to that. Back to that because that's a whole story in itself.
Yeah, man.
But first of all, welcome to
Thanks.
So There I Was. That is a terrifying way of how an aviation story starts. This is Fig. I'm lucky enough to be home for one more day. Where's my cohort?
Repeats in New Hampshire today for at least another day or 300 and enjoying every minute of it. Glad to be home. Glad to be safe. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we're now full on into the holiday season. It is my pleasure to welcome with us none other than a former Bulldog himself.
Yeah.
Our aviation maintenance officer, Ike. Welcome, sir. And
Thanks
we
for
were
having
doing
me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We were doing that pre-show chat, and turns out Ike lived the 12-inch penis song that night, thankfully.
No,
we'll get
Back to that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. We didn't start off flying over the North Atlantic at night. What made you decide airplanes would be a decent way to make a living?
Well, I sort of think they chose me. I lived out on a farm, and the approachway to Nashville's runway, the airplanes came right over my farm, and I just thought, man, that is so neat. I wish I could do that. And so that's how my interest in aviating started. And it's really more fundamental than that. I did a tour as an enlisted man at a place called Nam Phong in the air base. And I was doing interior guard, and I walked up to an A6 pilot. I said, is this hard? He says, I don't know if I can do it. Anybody can. So I took him at his word.
How about that? So let's go back to that for a second. Nan Phong.
It's called the Rose Garden. It was in the
Yes.
middle of, it was Thailand up near Laos.
Okay.
Summer, it was in 1972 when they were trying to finish up the Vietnam War, bring the North Vietnamese to the table. And the way they were doing that was bombing Hanoi pretty much around the clock. So
We had a former guest that was based in the Rose Garden.
Oh,
General
really?
Anderson. General Anderson flew F4s out of the Rose Garden.
Oh, let me tell you, when they flew the F-4s, I could hear them starting, and I would borrow a Jeep. I would have to say that.
You'd borrow a Jeep.
Borrow a Jeep. I lived out on the ASP, the ammo supply point, which is away from the base, case it, for safety reasons.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I would borrow a Jeep and park and drive up to where the runway was and get out of the Jeep and wave to those guys that they took off. I just thought they were just my heroes, especially the F-4s. They were the Red Devils.
So you were a Marine ordnanceman? What?
I was ground ordnance. So that mean they could use me for anything while I was there. So there was primarily aviation ordnance. So I was used to put together beach matting for bomb berms, where they stored the bombs, and walk guard with a rifle. So
Well, let's back that up just a second, because
Yeah.
I think there's some things to unpack here a little bit.
There are indeed. I
So
don't even
you-
think I knew you were prior enlisted.
Well, I did, but I didn't know to what extent, what you did. So that was the
If I
summer
did, I
of
forgot.
1972 where you talked to the A6 guy. So you were from Tennessee. So can I guess you went through recruit training at the Paris Island?
Oh, I did. It was a lovely place to be.
So
I
what
went through there
Stan
in
Fleas were your
1970.
favorite friends?
Yeah,
was that about 1971 or 1970-ish?
1970. It was, I think, September of 1970.
Okay.
And I thought I'd die and go to hell, really, when I was in boot camp.
Well, wait. Let's
And then you went to Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, what? So you just didn't miraculously show up at Paris Island one day. So did you right out of high school?
Yeah, right. It's the summer it was the year I graduated from high school. I wasn't going anywhere, didn't have any big plans. I wasn't discovered yet, so I just went to I need a plan, and the Marine Corps gave me one. I'm really thankful for the Marine Corps for that.
Okay.
Nice.
So you walked into the Marine Corps recruiter's office and said, "Hey, I'm your guy," type thing.
Well, I talked a little bit of everybody. I talked to the Navy. I talked to the Army. I felt like I was talking to used car salesman.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
I went to the Marine Corps, and this guy came out. He had a high-end tie. He was muscular. He was trim, big stack of ribbons. And he pretty much said, "What can you do for me?"
Nice.
And I said, "Well, I want to join the Marine Corps." He says, "When you want to go? You want to leave today?" I go, "No, give me a couple of days." And he did. But his military bearing and presence was such that I thought, I want to be a part of that. So
Right.
Nice.
that's how he reeled me in.
Well, the Marine Corps seems to do that. And there was a thing going on the other day about it. I don't know, it was one of the social medias, and it was talking about, the Air Force gets up there, Army gets up there, Navy gets up there, and they all have their PowerPoint presentations in the high school auditorium, and the Marine gets up there and looks around and says, "Yeah, I don't think I see no one in here enjoying my Marine Corps. You're not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you think you are, I'll be out in the hall afterwards. You come talk to me."
So that's
pretty
kind of
good.
the attitude this guy had. The Navy guy looked like he was about 6 months pregnant, so that turned me on.
That's pretty standard for a chief, right?
Yeah.
Back then, anyway. Back then.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. All right. So you that was the summer of 70. You went to Paris Island, and what
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 was
in-
that like?
Yeah.
What kind of a wake-up call was that?
Well, I kept thinking I was in a bad dream till about halfway through it, but it was difficult, especially for somebody. I wasn't especially. I never thought much about the military, quite frankly. I know my father was in the military, in World War II, but those guys didn't say much about it. They just kind of kept
Right.
all that to themselves.
Right.
So, and I came in the Marine Corps, quite frankly, because I could get a 2-year commitment. Everybody else
Okay.
went for 3 or 4 years. And so I thought, well, I can pretty much do 2 years doing anything. And that's how I got in there. So, and
Okay.
Paris Island was, they call them beat them and keep them. It was difficult.
Yeah. What,
Well, that's saying
any
something.
particular memories, be it anything from your first morning to the funniest thing or most terrifying thing you saw there?
Well, I made a mistake of laughing one time. And I forgot what the guy told me. He said, essentially, "Do you want a chest or a medal to pin it on?" And I thought that was funny and laughed at him. And he choked me so bad. That's the last time I laughed for probably about 2 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's
that wore all the fun out of it.
that's literally Army full metal jacket esque, like no shit.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. I mean, they one platoon a bunch of drill instructors in a different platoon. They all got relieved for physical violence. That's because they caught them. That was just what they did back then. It was nothing to keep you up all night doing close order drill.
Sure.
I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
Where was your technical school? Where did you go after Paris?
Virginia. I was a 2311. It was called an ordnance technician. It was about a 2-month school, and I really enjoyed that. We learned about explosives, and if you wanted to blow something up, they taught you how to do that, or how to handle explosives and not blow yourself up. So I was kind of fond of that.
Yeah, that's handy.
It was a good school.
Good safety tips there. Yeah. Keep all your parts.
Yeah.
So let's see, Paris Island, a couple months up in Virginia, and then
I went to Camp Pendleton.
Okay.
For about a year. Then I went to Okinawa for about 4 months. Then I went to Nam Phong to finish out my tour. Then I came home and went to college.
Okay. And college was back in Tennessee?
Yeah, well, it's in Kentucky, Western Kentucky University.
Okay.
Hilltopper.
And if my memory serves, psychology degree?
That's right. I had a psychology degree and a political science minor, so I was doubly unemployable.
Yeah. Yes. However, you could conversate.
Yeah.
Which I always appreciated. Yeah.
And really what I did there is I worked in a restaurant right across from an airfield, and I saved up about $100, which was a lot of money back then.
Oh, yeah.
And I went and took a couple of flight lessons just to see if I could do that. And passing out or throw it up or whatever. And so that's what convinced me that I needed to chart my path through aviation.
And then was it PLC program that got you back in the Marine Corps? Or
no, I just did the full, I think it was 12 weeks, the OCS.
Oh, okay. With an
aviation. I
aviation.
should have done that. I didn't know anything about it in college. I never saw a Marine guy there until I got ready to leave.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't have a recruiter there. Or if he did, I didn't pay any attention to him.
So did you have a aviation
I did.
guarantee?
I did. I tested out for that.
Okay.
Luckily. So.
Yeah. Well,
and then
are familiar with that.
Took the test, the diagrams, and all that business there. I think we've all done that.
Sure. And then it was off. And it was off to the races.
Yeah.
So any memorable things pop out from your 12 weeks at OCS? Any good memories? I'm assuming as a previously enlisted Marine, you were leaned on heavily by your peers who had no military experience.
Well, I had a bit of that, but I didn't mind that. I really didn't. And I used to tell them, they would panic and stay up all night, shining their canteen cup and all that stuff. And I go, hey, they're going to find something wrong with you. Get some sleep. That way you're going to be able to deal with it tomorrow. Because guys would stay up. I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah. Polishing your brass, shining your boots, cleaning your rifle.
I said, don't do that, man. They're going to find something wrong. You're going to be doing some push-ups, some Benson thrusts, any of that stuff. You might want to do it well rested as opposed to really tired.
So I may have missed it a little bit because someone decided to print on the printer here in the room, so I had to go mute and and all that. But so did you go straight from active duty enlisted to PLCs, or did you get out for a while?
I got out and went to college, so the GI Bill.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
If I'd have known that, I would have. When I finished up, the recruiter there didn't offer me anything. Maybe didn't think I was worth it. I don't know, but if I had to do over again, I would have gone to PLC or ROTC or done something like that. I just didn't. I'm a country guy from Tennessee. I don't know any of that stuff.
Well, and he had numbers to make. He didn't need to help you.
He wasn't looking for officer candidates. He was looking for something else. And it just sounds to me like you just didn't have any guidance, no mentoring.
I didn't.
There's a lot of people, including myself, that had zero. I mean, we kind of figured it out, stumbling through it, and that's how we all ended up together. God bless America.
Yeah.
So when you went to OCS 12 weeks, that was back in Quantico, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you have Do you have any, seared OCS experience memories?
Oh, my
funny
God.
or tragic?
Oh yeah. Did you guys do the Quigley?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm kind of broad-shouldered.
Oh fuck. Going
Uh-oh.
through the pipe. You
Oh,
talking about
my
going through the
God.
pipe?
I like to never made it out of there.
All right, talk about that. Describe
Well,
That
that.
was terrifying.
I saw guys going in there, and I'm doing the math sort of with my shoulders and the diameter of that pipe. And I'm going, well, hell no, I'm not. This is not going to work for me.
Right.
So it seemed like it took me once I stuck my head in the front end. It took me like a day and a half to get out the back end, and it was full of muddy water. It's all up your nose, in your mouth.
Yeah.
That was the worst part of that.
And some gunnery sergeant standing on top in his Charlies with a fucking axe handle beating on the pipe.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
I think that's, for me, that was probably the worst. I didn't
Yeah.
mind the exercise. I didn't mind the harassment. We had a British color sergeant there was our
oh sure.
physical
Okay.
education guy,
Yep.
PT monitor, and he would just run the tongue out of your head. But I didn't mind that. I knew that was going in, what was going to happen. So I just didn't. I'm really a little bit claustrophobic, to be quite frank with you.
Well, that's another thing.
Same problem with the helo dunker. I didn't like being all closed up in there.
Hey, I want to take a real quick 20 seconds and describe for our listeners what exactly we're talking about. So there was a body of water. I don't think it moved a whole lot, right? It wasn't like running. It was a kind of a stagnant.
And
It was
smell.
red clay water.
And
Yeah.
and in it was a pipe that
Culvert.
was it's a culvert, yeah. And so there was maybe 2.5 or 3 inches of air at the top of the pipe, and you had to slide through it with full combat gear, if I remember. So you
Yes.
had to hold your rifle up in the air, and you had to keep your lips or your nose up in the air as you were sliding on your back through this pipe. And I forget how long it was, but it like Ike said, it seemed
I
like
think it was 1,000 yards.
it seemed like it took eternity to get out the other side, and it
Yeah.
smelled sour water. Right? It was fucking horrible. And you're right, dude. If you had any claustrophobia at all, you because you get in that pipe, especially a big guy like you, get in that fucking pipe, and you tense up, so you swell up, and then
Oh, yeah.
next thing you know, you're like a clogged toilet. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
so it took you a week to get out. Did you have to get a
Well,
haircut and everything when you came out?
It seemed like I could have probably registered to vote someplace by the time I got.
Hey, man. And if I recall, there was someone in front of you and someone behind you, too.
Oh
So
yeah,
it-
that made it.
that
well,
was
I
the
had my-
worst
I-
of it.
Oh, I know.
If the guy in front of you froze up, you were stuck.
Yeah,
Well,
you're hosed.
but didn't you show up to the Quigley? You didn't walk over there. I mean, you were in a you were
no.
running a course, right? So
Yeah.
your breathing was heavy, and anyway, by the time you got in that fucking pipe, you were trying to control your breathing and not breathe in the fucking nasty water, right? Because you didn't just stand there and
like I said, you're pretty much out of breath. You're breathing like a rape terrapin when you get there because you've been running for I don't know how miles it seems like
Yeah.
with all this shit on. So
oh, thanks, man. You just gave me all kinds of great flashbacks. That was
Yeah.
oh yeah.
all right. So the Quigley wasn't your
I
friend.
may not sleep tonight.
Well,
Thanks for that.
That's not as bad as the helo dunker. Okay?
Yeah. Describe that to our non-aviation listeners. Tell them about that.
Well, it's just a little slice of hell is what it is. I mean, it's this large can. It's made like a Coca-Cola can with the windows cut out of it. And they have benches inside, and they have two places in the very front where you sit like pilot and co-pilot. And you get in this thing, and they dip it down in cold water, so that almost takes your breath. Then they turn it over, and then you find your way out. Now, if that's not bad enough, eventually they put blindfolds on you. So as you're trying to find the door, you're finding somebody's foot in your face,
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah. Good times.
maybe it would have helped if I was a better swimmer, but I wasn't. I grew up in a creek, not a lake, so
Yeah.
it wasn't fun.
No. And then you throw in the fact that one of those times you had to wear goggles that were opaqued out so you couldn't see.
Yeah.
No.
So it might as well have been, pitch black, dark at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. Well, all right. Let's
Holy
talk about
shit.
something a little
Yeah.
more pleasant then.
Okay.
Right?
I'm for it.
You leave Quantico and see. Hold on a second. What year was it? What year are we talking about now? Is this
Oh, it
late
was,
70s?
yeah, late 70s, early 80s. I think it was 80, 81 when I got to TBS,
Okay, so
Okay.
the Sleep
So-
Fest there.
yeah, so you, I'm a guessing. Well, I don't want to assume. I know my TBS experience was it was different than my roommates, who did not have an air contract. So he was, he was worried about his grades and all that, and I was just there for the, this was a check
For
in
the
the block.
harassment package.
Yeah, check in the block. I needed to get to flight school, and I actually had fun because I wasn't stressed out.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it either. I remember all the guys with air contracts when they had to do night navigation showed up with those big goggles on so we would
Yeah,
Right.
poke our eyes out.
I did not wear goggles.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I took my chances.
But I didn't, I just, it were long days. We were sitting in class and talking about this, that, and the other. I didn't really care much about any of that, to be quite frank with you. I was just like you. That was a placeholder for me to get where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you showed up in Pensacola for aviation indoctrination about what'd you
About
say?
80, about 80, 81, I think it was.
Okay.
I think I got my wings in 81 as a helicopter pilot.
Okay, let's come back to that. All right.
Oh,
So
okay.
were you guys flying 234 Chucks or 234 Bravos back then?
They had them both there. They had T-34 Charlies there, but they also had T-28s is what I was thinking.
I was saying, did you do
T-28?
T-28?
No, I flew T-34s.
Okay.
I'd gotten the gouge before I got there. A friend of mine went before me. He said, take the 34s. Don't get in the 28s.
Okay. That 28 was a manly airplane. That was a whole lot of handful of airplane.
That was
I
a
bet.
handful.
So,
All right, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
went you selected helos after
Yeah.
primary. Any surprises when you were flying the T-34? You had a
No,
couple hours of experience before, right?
Well, not enough to really count. I mean, I struggled with it like everybody does, I think. I wasn't unusually gifted, so I had to really work hard to get through that. I think probably most of us did.
And you selected helos. Were you a 46 guy?
I was.
That's right. Okay. And East Coast or West Coast?
I flew out of Cherry Point, out of West Coast. Spent about, I guess I had about 1,000 hours in helicopter time.
Wait, you were flying out of Cherry Point?
No, I'm sorry, New River.
Okay, I was going to say, were you Pedro? No,
Yeah.
so New River. How many years did you do that? It's
It was about 3 years. We did one. Let me see if I can think about what we did. We did one NATO cruise up into Norway. And then we did one cruise where we went a little bit of time in Norway and then spent the rest of the time in Beirut.
Oh.
Was this after the embassy or after the barracks?
Right after the barracks, we got there and relieved those guys, and we spent the whole time there ferrying the ambassador around, or the Lebanese army, what was left of it, or we'd take Marines into the English, into the Great Embassy of Great Britain because they'd blown ours up.
Right. Yes.
And we pretty much, we did. We stayed aboard ship, and the ship would pull up, and we'd fly our missions, and we'd come back aboard the ship, and the ship would float back off. Try to get out of harm's way because we were told they were either going to fly a Cessna Citation into us full of dynamite or take a boat full of dynamite and hit us. So we'd go hide every night with lights out.
Oh wow!
Jeez.
So was this in 1983 or was this
84.
early 84? Okay, yeah, because the bombing was in October, I think, of 83.
Yeah, we went there right at we took their place.
Damn.
Okay.
I just finished a book about Beirut.
I did too. I bet it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, but written by Jack Carr and some other guy.
Yes.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Because I didn't, if you're a first lieutenant, what do you know about what's going on there?
Right. So any particular missions stick out from that? Especially now you went back and read the book. Did you grasp the gravity of the situation when you were there? How fucking ugly that was?
Well, I knew how ugly it was by flying over the city and seeing how torn up it was. It was really pathetic. Yeah, I don't have anything good to say about any part of that, really. So,
Okay. How many hours did you get in the CH-46?
about 1,000.
And how many times did you crash?
Never crashed once.
Come on.
That's a
No.
lot of flying. Never bent metal. Come close.
No,
in the
never got.
CH-46, you never had to auto rotate because you lost one of your motors.
No,
or-
I did lose a motor once, but I got it restarted. So, I used to be a post maintenance check pilot, and when you have to go through different procedures, shut down motors and restart them and stuff. And so,
Yes.
Okay.
so that was it. I had some interesting experiences in Beirut, though. I mean, it was
We'll talk
All
about
right.
that. Let's talk about that.
Let's go there, man.
well, one, I kept this to myself, and luckily nobody told on me as well. But there was really nothing to tell on me. We did a single aircraft mission one time to pick up one passenger.
Well, okay.
This is strange. I don't know. We're going into the British Embassy to pick somebody up, and it's one passenger, and I'm thinking, well, okay. They don't tell you who it is, and I guess they don't do that because they don't want the other side, somebody to intercept it, to know who you're picking up and what the stakes are. So we get there and we land on a corniche right where the British Embassy is. There's the water on one side and the British Embassy on the other. And we're sitting sideways with the machine guns pointed out, so if somebody tries to take it over. And about that time, a black SUV pulls up, and people with guns start running towards our helicopter.
Oh.
And the door gunner on the side towards the British Embassy says, I'm going to fucking smoke these guys.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I go, wait a minute, let me see who's coming. Let me see if I can figure this out. And I told him not to shoot because the guys it was the ambassador who were picking up. They should have told me that, but didn't.
You think?
And the guys that were running towards us was the embassy security guard. And I realized they all had sort of military haircuts, and they had on chest protectors and a tweed coat. They always kind of had a little bit of a uniform on and jeans. And I recognized by their haircuts they weren't Lebanese or Hezbollah or Hamas or anybody like that. So
Man.
I almost had the distinction of killing the ambassador to Beirut.
Holy shit.
Oh man.
So you picked him up and did you take him back to the ship or did you haul him around?
We hauled him around somewhere else. It was too dangerous to really travel much in the city, so we would haul him to different places. I think we may have taken him to the Ministry of Defense that day, which eventually got overrun too. And so every time we would take something, that would take the Muslims would take it over. They eventually took over the whole city.
Was that rare to do single ship mission?
Yeah, that should have told me something.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You think that would be the time they'd have, Cobra escorts or something?
Well, they had Cobra escorts, but they kept them offshore.
Okay.
They made this deal with the Ministry of Defense not to bring gunships inside because they thought that might be aggressive.
Oh.
So we used to say we're unarmed and unafraid. So
yeah. No sense being aggressive when people are shooting at you.
Well,
piss them off.
What sense would that make?
Okay.
Wow.
What else about Lebanon sticks out in your mind? Hey, what ship were you flying off of, by the way?
The Nassau, USS Nassau.
The nausea.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Y'all been on that?
Yeah. Well, I qualified on it. I landed on it several times. I didn't spend any time on it.
You and I went out one time and landed on something. Do you remember what it was?
The Wasp?
No, I landed on the Wasp and got stuck there for 3 days.
Well, I did. One of those times that we all got got our box renewed for carrier call was it was in Nassau.
Okay. I don't remember those anymore. I remember the Wasp and
Pope. The Pope was in the tower. You remember the Pope? The Pope was the LSO for us.
Okay. Do you remember what I did?
I do not. Do you? Do you remember what you did?
Yeah, I did. The captain requested a flyby.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Well, so
he already left.
if it's the so I did one as well. Pope asked if I would do
Okay.
a morale pass for the troops.
Okay, we both did one then.
Yeah, but we went back single ship.
Yes.
So I really don't know. So let's I
Oh,
know what I do.
I went below the deck and I tried to pull up at the very nose, and I thought if by doing that, the thrust would throw water up on the deck. I don't know if it did or not, but then, right when I pulled up, I thought, this is probably a bad play for a major, but I did it anyway.
And did you ever hear any repercussions?
No, I never did. So
Yeah.
the captain to
No?
himself probably told everybody else to do that as well. So
Yeah,
we'll
I didn't.
thankful.
I didn't either. No. Okay. Good. Well, that's good. All right. Good. These are things we can look back on and go, well, okay, yeah.
I'm glad I survived it.
Got away with that one, and survived.
So you did you got 1,000 hours in stage 46, which should have made you completely bulletproof at that point. Anybody that can fly a helicopter, especially those vintage ones,
Right.
get 1,000 hours. Post maintenance check, pilot stuff. Yeah, not.
What was the closest you came to bending metal in a 46?
Every single flight, probably.
Well, yeah.
Look, it's
Well,
shit spinning around different directions, and
the only time I really got in trouble flying 46s is I was flying with a friend of mine, and we were flying over Camp Lejeune, and we saw this little hole in trees. And I bet him a beer that he could put that in there. He couldn't put that in there without hitting a limb with a rotor. So he come up into a hover and put it down. And right when we sat down there, we looked over and there's a deer stand.
oh shit.
And a bunch of corn on the ground with their, baiting deer.
Uh-huh.
So we pulled up and left, and we got back. We took our stuff off and went in the radar room, and somebody said, "Hey, did you hear what happened over at Camp Lejeune?" I go, "No." I said, "There was a helicopter crash." I go, "We just over there. We didn't see a thing." Well, they thought it was us.
They saw somebody crash.
So I got to do some tap dancing over that one. That's the only time I got close to bending one, I guess, over a bet, which is kind of stupid, but
well,
when you're
wasn't your helicopter, no big deal.
Yeah, belonged to the government, wasn't mine.
The thing, it was paid for. It's
Right.
not like they're still making payments on it or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those are free. Oh man.
So no, I never bent one. Oh, I did bend the back end one time. I did a 2-wheel landing in CAX.
All right.
Okay.
It wasn't CAX. It was in WTI. They had that big mountain thing up there where I put some facts up on a mountain and had to do a 2-wheel landing, and it slid off and tore the back off. But that's the only time I bent one up.
Hold on a second. You breezed by that really fast.
Intentionally.
It doesn't count because it was a CH-46.
Yeah, no, hold on a second. So I get it. You're landing with the rear wheels on something so that you could get some facts up on a mountain.
And the nose
right?
is flying.
Yeah,
the nose is
put
flying.
two facts up for WTI. I just said, "Hey, would you mind putting us up on this little mountain?" I go, "Yeah, no, that's not a problem." In fact, they asked I wasn't flying aircraft commander that day. They asked somebody else to do it. He says, "No, I won't do it, but I bet this guy will." I go, "Yeah, I'll do it." So
Another
got up
title.
there,
I
I had
bet this guy will.
I had everything stable, and the rocks came out from under me and it slid, so it tore up the back ramp would come down.
Yeah.
Just put some dents in there, kind of tore it up.
Was that it?
That was it. Nobody said anything.
You
They were pretty good about that.
You weren't by chance the individual that set the toilet on top of Picacho Peak down there in Yuma, were you?
No, I didn't do that, but I'd have thought of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was the Picacho Peak was one of the entry points to all those VR routes that started with 15 or 1600. Somebody said, there's a toilet on top of that. And I'm like, bullshit. And I went by real close. I'm like, son of a bitch, there's a toilet sitting there.
I'll be damned.
It's one of the Hilo Bubbas put it up there. It didn't just
No one humped it up there. That's for damn
Nobody
sure.
humped it up there.
Picacho Peak. That might have been where I
Picacho
landed.
Peak was kind of like a spiral.
That's where I landed. Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. Maybe it was. Maybe they said they wanted to get up there to call in airstrikes. Really, they were humping a toilet up there. Right?
They may have been.
Okay.
You know, you need a latrine up there sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Just to back up ever so briefly, it looks like the book is called Targeted Beirut by Jack Carr.
I may have it right here behind me.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a pretty it's a good read. It's
Yeah,
There it is.
that's it. Targeted
Yes,
Beirut.
that's it.
Yeah. So he's an interesting guy. He was a Navy SEAL, got out, decided he wanted to write novels. So he got out and started writing novels and wound up getting it published. And he kind of wanted to make it into a screenplay. And buddy of his called and said, "Hey, I just wanted to thank you. I was getting when I was getting out of the Navy, you're the only one that took any time with me to say, hey, these are the challenges you're going to face and how difficult it's going to be. And these are things you need to think about. And I really appreciate that." He's like, "Oh, okay." He said, "So what are you doing now, sir?" He says, "Well, I'm writing a book. My first book is about ready to publish, and I'm hoping to make it into a screenplay someday." So this guy goes, "Oh, I got a friend in Hollywood. I'm happy to show it to him if you like." And he goes, "Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, who's your friend?" He goes, "Oh, Chris Pratt." He goes, "Well, Chris Pratt is the guy I was thinking of when I wrote this character in my book, which is The Terminal List." And I forget the protagonist, and he goes, "Yeah." And then so Chris Pratt saw it, read it, and that's how Chris Pratt wound up being in the Amazon series, The Terminal List. I mean, that shit just never happens, and yet there it is.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it if someone wrote it as fiction.
Oh, I know. Well, those Navy SEALs were amazing, I think.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of those when we were in the Middle East. So.
Yeah.
So
man.
I don't understand why you would want to leave the CH-46 and go to another airframe, but obviously you did because I
You
met
would
you.
fix one.
Yeah. So how did that work? So you did a tour flying CH-46, and then what happened after that?
Well, they come out of message looking for fixed rotor wing guys to transition to fixed wing. They're going to take 2 people. And so I thought, well, I'll just take my chances here because with 2 people, what are the chances?
Yeah.
And I got me and another guy from my squadron got picked.
Sweet.
So
okay.
We went to Meridian, Mississippi, flew an accelerated course in T2s, and then went right to A4s. In fact, I didn't even go to the boat in T2s. I went to the boat in A4s.
Okay.
That's how abbreviated the syllabus was. And off we went to A4s and in Yuma, as a matter of fact.
Okay. So, and then after that, you went A-Force before you went Harriers, right?
I did. I was in 214, VMA 214 in Yuma.
Okay.
Hey, Ike, what year was that when you went to Meridian? Do you
About
recall?
84, 85, I think when it was.
Okay. So accelerated course.
So what do you think? Were they just trying to make sure you could think it in excess of 200 knots?
Well, it's a difficult transition because, you're used to 2 miles a minute. Now you're doing 7 miles a minute.
Yeah.
Used to having somebody else there to help you think things through, and now you're by yourself. So it's a pretty big transition for a helicopter.
Different world, yeah.
Let me just say it was for me.
Did you say that you did not go to the boat in the T2, only the A4?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Rock on. And then when you got to Yuma, VMA 214, obviously A4 mics. Let's see, were any of the A4 squadrons in Yuma already transitioned to the Harrier at that point?
Yeah, they had. If I think of the name of it,
Was 513 the first?
Yeah, the Night Owls.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right. They had already gone to, but I think they'd flown the A. If I'm not mistaken. So they transitioned a long time ago.
Okay. Because they, trying to think, I think they were also the first squadron to go to the F-35. They were the first ones to ditch the Harrier. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the 513.
So A4 Mike, VMA 214, Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Did you guys do a
tough gig?
Yeah, tough gig flying out of Yuma. Did you guys do a Westpac deployment, or did
We
you
did.
go?
We did one West Tech deployment. I went to, of course, Eva Cooning. And how about Eva Cooning, you do this stuff. You go to Osan, Kunsan, like we did when we were there.
Sure.
And, yeah, we did some time in Yachon because I think it may be 6 weeks because they were refurbishing the runway there in Eva Cooning. So
Okay.
that was fairly unpleasant. Stayed intense. And it was, Korea is hot.
Yeah.
So, and it's full of bugs. So,
Well, that's not a good combination anytime.
no.
Okay.
But
Let's see.
I didn't stay long at 214. I only got about 500 or 600 hours. I went to I got selected for amphibious warfare school out of that.
Okay, so back to Quantico.
Back to Quantico for the third time, and it was. I think that was about 10 months, and it was any aviator don't want to go to that because you're not flying.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and
Well-
and the bad memories.
Well, did you have a choice in the matter? Or
No.
did they say, "Hey, you're going to residence amphibious warfare"?
yeah, you don't have really a choice in any of that stuff because, and I'll tell you a little story later on when I went to another school. They pretty much say you either go or you're done.
So you were a reserve. You got a reserve officer commission at OCS, and
Yeah.
then so I'm guessing sometime after you transitioned to fixed wing, did you augment it, or did you
I think
augment?
augmented in helicopters.
Okay, wow. So it must be, when we were when it was our time frame, it seemed like most of my peers that went helicopters, they didn't. I guess they had too many helicopter pilots, so they didn't augment anybody that were helicopter pilots. But if you could fog a mirror and you were a fixed wing dude, you were going to get augmented unless you were, identified as being a douchebag.
Well, it's all feast or famine. It's suddenly we don't have enough, and suddenly we have too many.
Yeah.
That can happen pretty much in the same day.
Yeah, right. It
So-
seems like it's a very knee-jerk reaction sometimes.
When I first came in, I was flying helicopters. There were a lot of guys flying fixed wing that went to the Navy. And then later on, there were a lot of guys in the Navy that had fixed wing, went to the Marine Corps. So they've had some real troubles trying to manage their pilot pipeline. Which is too bad.
That's manpower in the Navy and Marine Corps is always amazing. They can see about 4 inches in front of them, and then that's it. The accordion that they create.
Well, that's on a good day. A lot of people get lost out on that. A lot of good people.
Yeah.
Well,
It's horrible.
Several we've talked to, including you, Repeat, were
Yeah.
in that category where we had too many aviation slotted guys, so they nammy whammied some guys to get rid of them, and other guys like Disco and Strut, they got out of TBS, had to go do something else for a year or two before they could go to flight school.
Oh, I remember that. I had a little bit of period of time of that too. About 6 months, I sat in a chair at Quantico and did absolutely nothing. I was in some sort of financial office. I never knew what they did. They didn't know anything about me. I just sat there and stared at the walls.
Was that before you went to flight school?
Yeah.
Yeah, after TBS. Oh, okay. Well, you'll like this. I got stashed. I got stashed for about 3 months in between the basic school and Pensacola. But I was stashed. They thought they were doing me a favor, which I think they did actually. Amphibious, what AWS? Command and Staff. I was stashed at the Command and Staff College, specifically in the Aviation Instruction Division.
Yeah.
So there
As
was
a second
8 majors.
lieutenant.
As a second lieutenant, 8 majors. One from each platform that we had, including a Rio. And so I walk in, and basically they said, "This is your job, Lieutenant." They handed me a T-34 NATOPS manual. They say, "Read this every day, and at lunch you're going to PT with us." And the PT was run down to the gym and do whatever workout of the day was and run back. So one day I'm doing my job, I'm sitting in there. I got my Charlies on. I'm sitting in there. Nobody's there. Everybody's teaching.
Yeah.
I got my feet up on a desk and I'm leaning back in a chair and I got the T-34 manual up and I see movement out of the corner of my eye. And I've become very comfortable around these majors, you know, and you know, I was like furniture. Well, I see movement. I figured it's one of the majors that I'm working for. Working for. I look over. It's a colonel.
Oh,
and
no.
I about fell out of the chair trying to get up, and he goes, "Whoa, slow down, Lieutenant, slow down." and I'm trying to stand up. He goes, just relax, at ease. He said, "How much do you weigh, sir? How much do you weigh?" I say 150 pounds. He says, "Excellent, excellent. Lieutenant, pack a bag. You're going to be gone a week. You're leaving tomorrow." And he walks out. So
a bag for where?
Yeah, right. So the short of it is, General Boomer, at the time, he was a 1-star.
Okay.
He and a couple other generals and a whole bunch of colonels were going around the country and giving this MAGTAF briefing to big high-level schools and high-level meetings. And they needed, apparently, one more body to rate a C9 instead of the C12. And they found out there was some fucking lieutenant stashed over at the amphibious over at the command.
Yeah.
So for a week, I'm flying around the country with the 2 generals and all these colonels and the 2nd lieutenant. And of course, you know, I'm the coffee guy, this, that, the other. And it was a wide awakening experience for me.
Welcome to the Marine Corps, huh?
Yeah, welcome to the Marine Corps. Yes, sir.
Man. And that's why I didn't want to go to the Pentagon as a major.
No.
Right. Yeah, you'd be making coffee and shit.
Yeah. So, holy shit.
Obviously, amphibious warfare school, that's professional military education for all of you unanointed. And it made Ike so polished and so well-rounded that when I met him in VMA 223, I thought he had a PhD in life, because he was so well-rounded. All right.
You are a maintenance officer. Now, were you there? You were there when Tripp still had the squadron, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Tripp had been enlisted as well, and him and I had similar backgrounds. We both flew helicopters.
Yep.
We'd both been enlisted, so not that he took it easy on me. He didn't do any of that.
We just lost him about 3.5 years ago. I don't know if you knew that.
I looked him up the other day. I was trying to think, what happened to a Tripper? Lieutenant Colonel Triplett. They said he died. I think he died of cancer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, about 3.5 years ago. Right about within a few months of us starting this show. We had missed him at the Harrier reunion, and they told us he was in hospice then. So.
Oh, he was in. Oh no.
Yeah. So.
Well, he was a good guy.
Great leader.
Yeah, you just don't fly number 2 on him and try to join up. You know, he would take off the 300 knots, and God help you, couldn't keep up.
Yeah,
right.
I went on cross country with him. I learned real quick. You better get on board now. It'll take 6 states to catch him.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and I know, and I told this story a long time ago. I know, but yeah, we're out in the chocolates bombing, and I called Bingo, and he does like 2 or 3 more passes. So I'm hanging on with him instead of pointing my nose at Yuma. Yeah. We get back at land, man. I'm on flashers. I landed with like 400 or 500 pounds of gas, and it was shit. And he's like, why the hell why'd you wait so long? You didn't say anything. And I'm like, here's the tape, sir. Let's say, I called Bingo. Ah, shit, I never heard it. All right, well, next time just point your nose at the base and go home.
That sounds like you.
Yeah,
he was a good man.
He really was. He really was. Yeah, I learned a lot from him.
So Ike, you showed up at VMA 203 right after amphibious warfare school.
I did. Yeah.
And that was was that your award, your reward for going to amphibious warfare school, to say, hey, we're gonna send you to Harriers, or was that a choice?
How'd that work?
We're going away, so that's the only thing I had left over. So it was Harriers, and I got there, and I forgot who the skipper was, but he was a really nice fellow. I thought a lot of him.
It was prior to Trip.
No, the 203 guy.
Oh, that would have been Hawk. Ross Heap.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him? Did anybody know?
Last I heard, he was the mayor of Yuma.
You kidding me?
No.
Wasn't he at the big
He was at the reunion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always had his flight suit collar up.
Yeah.
Flight suit
Zipped
collar
halfway
up and zipped halfway to his navel.
Yeah.
And I thought, yes.
I took his fashion tips when I got the Harriers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hey, just a moment before we go any further, I want to take this opportunity to thank both our sponsors for this week's show. We've got Anti-Gravity and Masterclass. So we can pause for a minute. You guys okay? You need a break or you want to keep going?
I could get a quick refresh of my refreshment.
Yeah, I could use a small break.
All right, let's do that. And of course, I have no way to pause the stream, so we'll just have to let it run. I will play some music for everybody while we do that.
Okay, thanks.
So, yeah,
hey, bud,
here we go.
I want to land on a carrier. I don't want to land on a carrier.
Yeah, right. Well, I think I had. There it is. Here it comes.
Oh, I wish I had a gun just like the A-10. I'd be happy as a baby in a playpen. I'd mow 'em down like a weed eater with that 30 millimeter. I wish I had a gun just like the A-10. Oh, I wish I had 8 AMRAAMs like the Eagle. I'd be having so much fun it'd be illegal. Like a guy who ain't been late for months, I'd shoot those fuckers all at once. I wish I had 8 AMRAAMs like the Eagle. Oh, I wish I had the gas just like a mud hen. To hang around that long is just a sin. Oh, I wish I had the alpha of a hornet, living to fight slow and others scorn it. When I can still pitch and roll, that other guy's going out of control. I wish I had the alpha of a hornet. Those things are nice, but when it comes right down to it, you just can't escape the fact, and that's this right here. Yeah, all you fuckers wish you flew the Viper, probably since the time you wore a diver. Oh, we do, yeah, all you fuckers wish you flew the Viper. 'Cause we're single seat, multi-roll, we can fly right up our own asshole. Yeah, all you fuckers wish.
Uh-oh, dead air. Song's over already? Sorry about that, everybody. All right. Now, while we're waiting here, I try and get myself back in order. In fact, let's go back to our show's theme song. Here we go.
This here is a true story about crossing the pond at night in the world's smallest cockpit on the tanker through the weather. Oh, and to the tanker crew who did that, thanks a lot. We really appreciated that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond of all the shit I was wearing on that day. Now an F-16 is cramped enough, but it's even worse with all that stuff supposed to save your life. But we knew there was no way. 'Cause when you're going down the North Atlantic, man, it's over.
It's over.
Now about 4 hours into the flight, well, I got a little nervous because it was still night. I'm on the wing of the tanker, man, and I got a piss.
I got a piss.
So I started fucking with the...
Started fucking with the jaws of death.
Oh my! That poopy suit.
Yeah, that was horrible. That
Yeah.
was horrible. Oh
It's
man.
wonder we were dehydrated. You know, you couldn't carry enough water to keep yourself hydrated on those long
No.
flights.
No, it was yeah. And then when you did, you were miserable anyway because you had to piss
Yeah.
so much. So oh shit. So yeah, I guess when we get back, we'll talk more about when Fig gets back. We'll talk more about going from the A4 to the Harrier
Okay.
and all that. Is that something you wanted to do? Is it?
Oh yeah. Whatever you
okay.
need. How am I doing? Am I boring you guys?
No, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. This is good shit, man. Single engine, single seat attack pilot. Just nothing like it.
Well, you know, there's no slack in light attack.
Right?
I got a patch that's under my bar right here that says single. Let's see, where is it? Single.
If you ain't attack, you support.
Oh, here it is. Single seat, single engine, single radio. F it. Stay single.
Sage advice.
Right? Exactly. So,
Oh yeah. Well,
all right. Well, so thank you very much to Anti-Gravity and Masterclass both for bringing these shows to you. Appreciate that. So, Ike, yeah, you went from the A4 mic. Well, let me back up before we go to get into the Harriers. Was there any particular fun in the A4s? You ever tickle the handle? Do you ever come close to giving one back?
No, I didn't. I got really close to the ground a couple of times. You know, I think we all do, doing 10-degree dives.
Right.
So, and one time I did an aileron roll on low level, and I forgot I had drop tanks on, so that was pretty colorful. But other than that, you know, it was pretty uneventful.
did you guys fly that thing very often without drop tanks?
Yeah, quite a bit.
I bet that thing was a rocket ship without.
It was, you know, if you were light, you could go vertical because it had, I forgot, I think it weighed 11,000 pounds or something, and the engine put out 11.2 or something like that. So
Yeah, so you had a lot. You had a lot of performance.
Shit hot.
plus the roll rate was exceptional.
720 degrees per
A
second.
second, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. I did enjoy that.
You flew quite a bit, didn't you, Fig?
I did. I was fortunate enough to go back to the training command, and I flew it there as well. I flew it. I flew the A4 mic at Cherry Point for about 4 months while I was waiting to go to the Harrier rag.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got some time in that airplane.
How'd you guys like instructing?
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I learned more about flying the Harrier instructing than I ever did when I was flying the damn thing.
Well,
for
yeah.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really learn when you have to teach somebody how to do something that you're doing. You really learn it quick, right?
Yeah. And then
I
you
guess-
realize it's on you if they screw it up,
Yeah.
you know, because you didn't tell them something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that-
So, yeah, I loved it. And, you know, I don't know. Did you teach Ike at all?
I did, but you won't believe the airplane.
Oh, interesting. All right. Because here was the thing that I was going to say about teaching is a lot of other instructors, you know, some other instructors, not a lot, but some other instructors would always get pissed at different students making the same mistake. And I just never had that problem. I always realized, hey, it's a different guy. He, you know,
Yeah.
the guy made this very mistake yesterday, but you know,
It's
it's
a different guy.
different guy. Don't
Well,
get
we had a lot
upset.
of those
Don't get
guys
frustrated with that.
In VT3, we call it screamers, would just
Yeah.
get ballistic if you made a mistake. They probably saw the mistake twice already today with 2 other students, but that's the first time I made it. So
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So what'd you teach in?
the UC-35.
Oh no
What
shit!
the fuck is that?
It's a citation.
So
Right.
Oh,
that's-
okay. All right. That, yeah. Duh. All right.
Uh,
Citation. Yeah. Okay.
Were you doing that out of New Orleans?
I was out of New Orleans, believe it or not. I instructed there when my last tour.
Okay.
As an active duty guy?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Now, was that the mod with the calendar in place of the airspeed indicator?
It pretty much had to have one.
Sorry, dude.
That's okay. I heard a guy Ask an A-10 guy the same question, an F-4 guy.
Yeah.
That airplane, was that a reserve unit that you were
It
in?
was a reserve unit. My last tour out of, let me see what, my last tour, I did a non-flying tour in Eglin Air Force Base, and after that I went to New Orleans for a year and a half and flew the C-12 and the UC-35.
When
In
were you
fact, I
there?
picked it up from the factory, the UC-35.
Yeah, because they had the Saberliner.
Yeah, they got rid of that T-39.
Yeah. When were you there?
Right. I guess 1998 to 2000.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I was there in '95. I was all set to go fly the C-12 in New Orleans when I was widowed, and I gave up the reserves. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So, but yeah. So, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
So we were almost together in New Orleans there.
Yeah. How do you like New
Shit.
Orleans?
Oh, I love New Orleans, but well, in fairness, I have a lot more experience there than just that. I moved there when I was 12 years old,
Oh, okay.
and so I was very familiar with that part of the country and the food and the fun and all that stuff. And to this day, I love New Orleans. I never want to live there again, but boy, do I love visiting.
It's great to visit.
Yeah,
Agree.
yeah, good stuff. So, well, shit hot. All right. So, well, let's get back then to so aileron roll on a low level.
Oh, that was, yeah, just something foolish I did.
Yeah, I'm glad I never did anything foolish in an airplane.
Yeah.
But I hear it's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was what I was going to go. I caught my own brain, caught up to myself now. So you wound up going Harriers. How is it that you wound up going Harriers? You said you wanted to go.
Oh, I
Harriers.
did want to go because, it had, well, it was the future. I thought the future of the Marine Corps, and I guess vertical flight still is the future of the Marine Corps. So, especially with aviation. So I wanted to be part of it.
So if I remember right, about the time that you showed up for the RAG, we were fairly close. Going through the RAG there, but they shortened the RAG syllabus a bunch. They compressed it because of the Gulf War. Were you involved? Did you get caught up in that as well?
Oh, I probably did. If they did, they didn't tell me I had a shortened syllabus. It seemed like it's pretty quick.
It seemed like the squadron had a lot more training sorties to do when you showed up at the squadron as opposed to like a normal RAG syllabus.
Well, I came, like I said, I came there. You and I, when we first went to the boat, I had so little flight time in the Harrier, I couldn't get my section lead, so we had to go there separate. So I guess I didn't get much time there in the Harrier at all in 203.
Okay.
Yeah. But you walked right into the maintenance officer's job, right?
Yeah, I've been a maintenance officer. I've been in maintenance pretty much my whole time in the Marine Corps. In helicopter, I was the line guy.
Okay.
And when I was, I did the same thing in A-4s, worked in maintenance. So I had a lot of experience in maintenance. Plus, they sent me to maintenance school there in Pensacola. So they took pretty good care of me. I really enjoyed the job.
Well, it was certainly a maintenance-intensive airplane.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like a treadmill you can't get off. I mean, never had enough time, never had enough parts. You know how that was. Canoe sitting.
Yeah, but at least you had plenty of Marines to accomplish it. Oh, wait, no, that was
something else, wasn't there?
Yeah,
well, one of the things that was distracting was all the rifle ranges and the gas chambers and
the chow hall.
Yeah,
the horse stables. You had to farm your Marines out everywhere.
Yes, so we're always on the back foot when it comes to personnel.
Yeah.
And parts.
And that's what you wanted guy to do, is go out and, sweep and pull butts on the rifle range who's a highly trained aircraft mechanic.
Yeah. That never made any sense. I remember, maybe y'all remember it differently, but we never had much time off there because of that reason. We pretty much work round the clock to keep the airplanes up.
Yeah.
And I remember I told the guys if they did something, they'd get the weekend off. And Triplet told me we had to work the weekend, and I told him, no, I've already promised people off. So him and I butted heads over that, but he relinquished because I'd already made the promise. So good for him. But we just worked guys into the dirt, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can concur with that. I do remember that. I was at one point the was it hydraulics, metal, corrosion control guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember that.
Oh, you worked for Ike, didn't you?
I did for
Okay.
for a while.
Yeah.
And that was rough. You know, you go.
He was a prick, I know, but
no, not working for Ike, but
okay.
the schedule those are maintainers. The 9 to 5ers would come in and leave, and then the night shift would show up, and that shit just kept going.
Well, I know they call it day shift, stay shift.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't go home. Sometimes we're so short-handed, but I enjoyed the tour there. I really enjoyed the squadron. I thought we had a really unique bunch of people there.
Yeah, I did too. It was good seeing everybody a couple weeks back. Now, let's reattack this. We were deploying to Norway for exercise, right?
Yes.
And can you kind of walk our listeners through that setup? Because it wasn't like a normal. We weren't leaving at high noon.
No, we left at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and you remember the reason?
Yeah, because they wanted to land in Norway in the daytime, and I just thought, oh my God, how foolish can that be?
I know, right? I know. And do you remember?
God forbid you be well rested when you take off. And
I know. So funny you bring that up. There was the second air delivery group, second ADG. They were the ones that were responsible for getting us over to Europe.
Yeah.
And it's a big Air Force operation, tankers, big heavy tankers. And they came and gave us this brief about, how, the routes and the frequencies and how it was going to go, contingencies and whatnot. And that we had to meet them off the coast of New York.
Yeah, Plattsburgh.
At like midnight 40.
Yeah.
1 and 30 seconds. And then we were going so that we could, and we couldn't be late because we barely were going to make it to Oslo before the sun went down. I mean, we were getting there after sunset, but we had 30 minutes, right? And then I remember it was like, but because we were taking off totally behind the clock, the Air Force was, they gave us, half the guys got go pills, and half the guys got a placebo, and they were doing a study and wanted to see. Do you remember this? Because
I don't remember that part. I remember I didn't take anything.
So they gave us this kneeboard card every time we tanked. They wanted, after we were done taking, they wanted us to fill out this card. It was level of alertness, and it was like 4 questions.
I wasn't part of that, I don't think.
Okay. Well, I had definitely the placebo because I could not keep my eyes open at one point. I kept not, banging my head off the.
Well, I remember on the back channel we was playing Trivial Pursuit for a while to try to keep people awake.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, can you? So, how was it that you ended up? Well, actually, let's go back to the departure and join up, because that was exciting. Yeah.
Were you part of that?
I was on the ground marshaling for takeoff when you guys were overhead trying to get joined up on this.
You heard my profanity?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, here's my side of it. I'd gotten orders to the Naval War College, and so the skipper said, you'll come along this -4, and nothing for you to do. I know you're getting ready to move and all that stuff. I said, okay. So In the brief, I hardly paid any attention. I know I was going to join up Dash 4 and off I'd go. Well, when we got out to the airplane, he couldn't get his started, and he passed the lead to me.
Awesome.
And, yeah. So I said, okay. So I just completely changed the whole brief. I said, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to take off, and I'm going to fly a great big circle over Cherry Point, 30-degree angle of bank, 250, come aboard. We'll press northward there, because I knew he was going to meet the tanker out at Plattsburgh, New York, I think is where it was.
All right.
Okay.
And they did a real good job with their joint up. You remember them coming, and we're coming at them. They made this big slow turn, and we wind up right behind them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good.
That was exceptional. Well, I had 3 guys joined up, and one guy come at me barreling like a banshee, and I had to pull up really hard. And I said some profanity on the radio, like who in the hell was that? And who answered was the skipper.
I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Shocked to find gambling in this casino.
Yeah. So that's how I started it out. And I felt bad about that. I shouldn't have used profanity, but it's a little bit alarming.
But he fucking scared you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like
all
a shoot.
over there.
A shooting star went between your formation.
Did you watch it?
I saw it from overhead. I mean, you guys were overhead, and I was watching. I heard the excited radio calls, and I see what looked like a shooting star going through the formation.
Yeah. I think I said, who the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So off we went, and it seemed like, how long was that flight? Does anybody remember?
It was like 9.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That was long.
So, here's my
exciting
thing.
way to start it. So, yeah. So you got to get up on the tanker.
Yeah, so we get up on a tanker, and we're tanking forever. It seems like we've tanked 500 times, it seemed like. So in the middle of this, I think I got to do something to mix this up a bit. I'm getting really tired. I'm getting really sleepy, and instead of doing the stabilized position and dropping down 1,000 feet and moving over, I can't remember exactly how all that went, but I think that's somewhat familiar. Does it? How you get all? Yeah. I thought I'm going to start, and I'm going to make a real gradual arc, and I'm going to, you had to put your probe out on this side over here with the little switch. And when I get right behind the drogue, this is going to be coming out right at the time I touch the drogue, and it's just all going to be one really beautiful ballet. I blew off all the procedures we're supposed to do to entertain myself. Real selfish thing to do, but I did that. So as soon as I started to make this real gentle arc, I hit the jet wash of the KC-10. It flipped me upside down and pointed my nose right towards the North Atlantic. And I'm really thankful it didn't shut the motor down, because I thought it was such a violent, I didn't know it was going to be that violent, but it felt like it ripped the tail off.
Oh.
So once I got everything, the wings back normal, and the tanker was just a tiny dot.
Holy shit.
So I had completely fucked that up. So I had it full power, and I'm surprised somebody didn't say, "Hey, Ike, where are you? What are you doing?" But nobody could see me, and I was the last guy to come off the stabilized position.
Yeah.
So everybody else is just flying their self on the wing over here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like that coyote in the commercial cartoon. I've got full power.
Trying to catch them.
Trying to catch these guys. And I thought, I'm never going to do that kind of shit again. I'm cured. So that's my tanker story.
Well, the upside is you probably had enough adrenaline. You weren't sleepy the rest of the night.
I don't think I slept for 2 days. And I had a similar experience. Well, it wasn't that bad, but we went to from Wake Island going into Iwakuni.
Right.
Was a long leg and really nasty weather. Yeah. So we got up on a tanker there, and we went through such nasty weather that I just found myself underneath the wing of the tanker, and I had 3 guys on my wing, and I could see the wing flexing, and I thought at some point it's going to come down and hit me in the canopy. That's how much it was flexing.
Oh boy.
And and it would, a tanker that big would disappear for 2 or 3 seconds with me that close. That's how bad the weather was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I'm
thick,
sure
right?
y'all been there.
Yeah.
So, thinking that song about the tanker, that's not fun.
No. No. If you had to guess, when you finally got your wings back underneath you and you looked up and the tanker was just a little dot,
Yeah.
how far, how much altitude do you think you lost?
Oh, I don't know. I was looking up at it, so I just put my nose on that light on his tail light
Just
and went full power. So I lost quite a bit of altitude. So I was upside down and the nose, I'm looking like this at the
oh my gosh.
water.
That's terrifying.
And at night with a HUD, I mean, although I mean the HUD is a beautiful thing. There's no doubt about it. If you read it
really
right, you're good to
stupid
go.
on
But
my part, I just got bored and
yeah,
trying to keep myself awake. And that's whenever we went to the sim and the airline and did unusual attitudes, I go,
Oh yeah.
okay, I
Yeah.
think I've done this before.
Yeah, I've been here.
been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Not
Yeah.
a problem.
So did it ever did you have a debrief in your mind? Well, whilst you were digging the nose out of the North Atlantic, you were thinking, there's probably a reason why we go to these different positions before we take.
Learn that the hard way. I should have been smart enough to figure it out, but once again, I'm ex-enlisted in helicopter. I got to learn everything the hard way.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm really surprised. I was pretty disciplined as everything else. I'm really surprised I wanted to do that, but I just want to say, I'm just going to see if I can put the basket out and put my prog out right when I hit the drogue.
Yeah,
And
you
just have this one big fluid motion.
well,
And I had that.
there was some beauty. There was some beauty to the efficiency of it in your mind, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it all worked out. Obviously, it did.
Yeah.
And we have a good story for it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not proud to tell that, but I do have a story about it.
So
Yeah.
did you go after? So you went to Naval, or you went to Newport.
Yeah,
That's a year-long school, right?
it was. It's not an easy school. It wasn't easy. A lot of reading. It's kind of funny. We went there. The Army, Navy, Air Force, everybody was there. And first day they give you the books. And they're up this high.
Oh, sure.
Like Air Force flight manuals.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there looking at my books, and I hear this guy go, "Hey, Marine. I look over and I see this Army guy. He says, "It's only a lot of reading if you do it." I said, okay. I think I found a friend here.
Oh, that's funny.
And you got a advanced degree from that school, yes?
I got a graduate MA degree from it.
Well, that's outstanding.
Well,
Okay.
And it obviously polished you a little more and made you a much more well-rounded Marine Corps officer, right?
well, it kept me out behind tankers for a while, so I guess that was good.
So did you go back to a Harrier squadron after that?
I did not. I went to Eglin Air Force Base and worked on the staff there for about 3 years, and then I went to New Orleans and finished up my time. No, actually, I'm lying. From Eglin, I went back to Iwakuni.
Oh,
my
no kidding.
goodness.
All
And
right.
with OPSO a year there.
At the station? Or
Yeah,
at the group?
12 at the group.
Okay.
OPSO Mag 12. Okay.
So they did you get to put your hands in a Harrier then?
No, I got to fly the C-12 while I was there. The Harriers were no longer there. The permanent there was the F-18s.
I'll be damned.
Okay.
So
And that was an unaccompanied tour for a year?
yeah.
Okay.
Did it look just like it did when we left it there in 92?
Wasn't any change at all, except I don't think I ever went to Mr. Lee's. I can't
No.
remember. And I
Well,
think I've given that up.
You needed to have slats with you to go there,
Right.
because he had a thing for
I got
slats.
it for free there. Slats with me.
Yeah. Or Miss Taiwan Boogie, Turner's wife. Oh man. Oh, too funny. So how many hours did you wind up with you said about 1,000 in the 46.
Yeah, I wound up leaving there with a little over 3,000 hours and everything, I think it was.
Okay.
Maybe just a little bit more, but I never really kept much track of it. I had several non-flying tours.
Those sucked, huh?
Yeah, what was that staff? What was that? So why a staff tour in Egland? That Marine, what's a Marine
Egland.
doing down there in
Well,
Air Force?
it
Base?
was an all services staff, and they're looking at making it a seamless battlefield, air battlefield. It was called ASIT, All Services Combat Identification Evaluation Team. And what it looked for is how to prevent blue on blue kills, because they had some of those in Desert Storm.
Yeah.
And I was brought in as an air to mud guy because they wanted to expand it from air to air to air to mud to ground to ground. So they brought in me, and they brought in some Army tank guys and Army infantry guys. And we expanded their exercises to include air to mud assets and ground to ground assets. That's what I was doing here. So, we put on a big exercise every year. We let the PhDs distill the data, and I would go on a briefing trail to tell people what the outcome was, which can be pretty uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
you're
tell
going
them
to
about that. Yeah. What do you got to tell? What do you tell the bad news to whom? Who are you talking to?
Well,
3
if you have
stars,
to
4 stars?
tell, an Army guy or an Air Force guy that their baby's ugly, they don't take that in good spirit.
Yeah. Gee, I can't see. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Then after that, I went to New Orleans and finished up my time. And
Well, that's probably a good way to finish up.
Right.
it
Fourth
was a good
Ma.
finish up. I flew C-12 and instructed in the UC-35.
Nice.
Reserve guys come in and give them they'd go to Flight Safety International at Wichita, Kansas, and then come to us and get a few hours of flight time. Off they'd go.
Now, did you take did that unit send guys like I got a buddy Sinbad, he was on our show, Steve Center. I was on one of my C-130 deployments over in Afghanistan, and he came through. He was flying out of Qatar, out of Al Udeid, Qatar, in the UC-35.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, but he was in the reserves at.
Yeah, I think it was primarily a reserve airplane.
So would they send just bodies over there and keep the airplanes there, or would they take the airplanes back and forth?
Oh, that was after I left, so I don't know how they were doing it. I suspect that it would put together a detachment, and trade places with people once they spent their time.
Yeah, I bet they did. Moving those airplanes, tough to do.
Oh, it
takes a couple of weeks in that airplane.
Well, I remember we might have to have him back on. He told a story about taking an airplane over there. They had a full mechanic with them, a contract mechanic to go along with them, and it was several legs and not very. It wasn't a leisure trip. Let's put it that way.
Well, I did that with a C-12 going from Iwakuni into Thailand. Did kind of the same thing. Several legs, had a mechanic with us, 4 or 5 guys. I think there were 3 pilots.
And that was a station C-12 down to Thailand? Was it for an exercise? Were you there?
We did Cobra Gold. So we, fly people out of Saudi Heat, Thailand into Bangkok and back, the brass.
So when you hit Thailand, did you have any flashbacks of the Rose Garden?
No, the part we stayed in was nice. The Rose Garden was a runway and a strip of concrete and a bunch of tents and mud everywhere. So no.
Rose Garden was the opposite of what it was. Right? Yeah, it was called the Rose Garden for a reason.
Yes. Yeah, we remember that was a song come out. We don't offer you a rose garden, and the Marine Corps picked up on that.
Yeah. Well, outstanding. Well, I cannot tell you how great it is to get your stories recorded for perpetuity.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
just to reminisce a little with a little squadron mate.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's a pleasure seeing you both. It was a pleasure seeing you in Pensacola. And I'm going to try to make it in June when they shut the Harriers down.
Oh, boy. I think that's going to be epic.
I've already made my hotel reservations. Do that now. They're filling up fast. So,
they are?
I didn't
think about that.
Yeah. Monday to Thursday, or Sunday night through Friday. I guess there's a final dinner on Thursday night. I don't know if we're invited because, we don't have stars on our collar, but
It's a black
But-
tie event. I don't think. I don't think.
Well, maybe I won't go to that.
Well, we could do our own black tie event.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Well, why
We'll get a
not?
So There I Was T-shirt with a black tie on it, and
Or just how about
right
not
on.
having black ties?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, do you remember that time we dressed up and went to someplace? Where was it? Where you told people we're a couple of plumbers from Tucson. Big, you did that.
Yes, plumbers from Tucson. My daughter asked me about that the other day. She said, we tell people we're doing different stuff because we don't want to know where we are.
That's right.
I go, yeah, we did plumbers from Tucson. She goes, really? I go, yeah.
Yeah. We got a contract with the government to fix all the shitters on the base.
There you go.
That's I can't remember what the scenario or what the occasion was, but yeah.
It was some bar. What do you guys do? Oh, plumbers from Tucson.
Plumbers from
No,
Tucson.
we were dressed up really. I don't know what we were doing, but we were into it a little
Was
bit.
it a Marine Corps ball somewhere? Or
No,
maybe
we,
it was
We
it
weren't
Fallon?
No, we were in
Right.
civilian clothes.
yeah, were we in Fallon?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think
You
so.
see, it's like I have snippets of
Right.
things that I can't
Between
neither
blackout drunk.
Well, hold on a second. I can't confirm or deny some of the actions that may or may not have taken place by my body
Yeah.
35 years ago. I don't,
Yeah, I can't remember everything. I remember we were at Fallon and Doc and I rode a bicycle, got one at Fallon, drove it into what was the town there? Reno.
well,
Yeah, Reno was up the road, right up the road. Yeah.
yeah.
And we got so big, I said, Doc, we're going to get a cab back and report the bicycle stolen. He says, no, we're not going to do that. But it might have been Fallon where we're doing all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And yes. Well, thank you, Ike, for your service, and thank you for all your stories, and thank you for your mentorship and friendship over the years. I
Indeed.
truly appreciated all of it.
Well, gentlemen, you both are jewels. It's been my pleasure.
Well, I'm just glad we wound up reconnecting. We lost track of you for so long.
I was in
And,
the inspection program.
and yeah, kudos to Grouper for pointing me to your old airline, and then one of our regular listeners for looking you up for me.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Thank you very much for having me. I hope it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
This
awesome.
is fantastic. This is a great show.
Yeah.
This
It's
is a great episode. Yeah, I'm going to be thrilled to put this together.
probably get two. You might be able to get two out of it. I don't know.
Closely, yeah.
Well, hey, let's take a quick moment to thank all of our veterans, all of our active duty reservists, guard members that are out there doing their thing for us every day, first responders, and the families of all those individuals that obviously make it possible for them to do their thing.
Right. They sacrifice so they can do their thing. So
I couldn't agree more. Thank you very much.
yeah, and prayers to those guard. People think, oh, National Guard. I don't want to be. Yeah, they avoided service. They went in the National Guard. Well, let me tell you something. One's fighting for his life, and one lost her life. And
That's horrible.
so it's serious business. That
Dude.
they are just as much uniform service as anybody. So
I agree.
It ain't one weekend a month anymore, boys.
No, it's
and
not.
girls.
You can
No,
attest to that.
yeah,
Special thanks to Dave Hamilton at backbeatmedia.com for our advertising and really for everything.
Right.
With
the knowledge
putting this
to
show
put the
together.
show on. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And thanks also to all our donors who go to sotherewas.us/Patreon and sotherewas.us/donate. Throw all sense of financial responsibility out the window, crack their wallet, and give us money so we can bring these stories and shows to you. We are grateful to you for your generosity. We don't understand it, but we are humbled by it and are thankful for it. So thank you.
Yes. Hey, I know it's not bikini season right now, but
It's
it is where
gift-giving
I'm
season.
going. Tomorrow, I'm going to where it's going to be 85.
Nice.
Undisclosed location somewhere south of Mexico. So we have a merch site. So there I was.us/merch, bikini,
That
koozies,
bikini.
hats, hoodies. I think Repeat's wearing a hoodie.
I am. I'm wearing it. Love this thing. It's warm. It's comfortable. It's stylish. All that good stuff.
I got my so there I was cocksock on right now, but I really can't show you.
Well, good. Thank you for that. Appreciate for small miracles. One of our regular, in fact, it was Dizzy, has had some issues trying to get something out of the merch store recently. So if you have issues, write to fig@sothereiwas or repeat, REPETE, @sothereiwas.us. Let us know and let us see if we can get it or sorted out. Because if you're having issues with the merch store, we need to know so we can get that fixed for you.
It's no bueno.
Yeah. While you're going to various websites like the merch one, go to sothereiwas.us/rate, follow the links, and give us 5 stars. Count them 5, not 4, not 3. You got to give someone 3 stars. Go find another show and give them your 3 stars. Then come back and tell us why you would like to give us 5 stars, and we'll do what we need to do. We're trainable.
Yeah, we're totally
Count 'em
trainable.
5. Yeah.
Totally trainable. All 3 of us have proved that we are trainable.
Absolutely.
Ike's got a lot more.
Mike and Ike.
Yeah, Mike's got Ike has a lot more education than we do, so he is really, really trainable. But Repeat and I, we're trainable.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, we are.
They weren't here today, but a special thanks always to Bago and Sticks
Bago and
for
Sticks.
producing in the background, and BDS Aviation, Brad Selcott, badass.
So there I was.us/episode/189. Is that what this one's going to be?
189.
189. So this one's going to be 189. So there I was.us/episode/189. The photos that I'm going to put on the website for this week's episode are none other than Harrier photos taken by Badass himself at pdsaviationphotography.com. He sent me some amazing shots. Man, let me tell you what. See if I can sneak up throw 1 or 2 up in there now.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
How does this guy take these shots? You know, he's not a pilot. You'd think he'd need to be a pilot to get that, but
That's amazing.
right? I mean, you can see this guy's government pen in his pocket of his left shoulder.
It's 150 mile pin, huh?
Yeah,
Damn right it is. Look at that
You
paint
know.
job.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
Those are awesome pictures.
yeah. He's an artist. He's an absolute artist. And speaking of artists, Fig, do you hear something?
Well, yes. Those are the F-16 pilots that make the Air Force sound good. The Dos white guys.
Yeah,
Gringos.
That's it. Those gringos.
The Dos Gringos.
Those
They let us use their music. A great theme song. And today you heard that 12-inch penis is a true story.
Yeah.
You're fighting to get through that?
Ike lived through it.
Yeah.
everything but
absolutely.
the 12 inches. I didn't get that.
Right. Well, yeah, there's right. Oh man, and you survived. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I guess all we can say, everybody, until next week, stay safe and check 6.
Semper Fi, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Semper Fi.
Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond of all the shit I was wearing on that day. Now an F-16 is cramped enough, but it's even worse with all that stuff supposed to save your life. But we knew there was no way. 'Cause when you're going down the North Atlantic, man, it's over.
He said what?
He said it's over.
I have to face stupid reality again.
And we are out. Fantastic. 133.30. So, and Ike left us.
I
He's
think
around
he
there
just-
somewhere.
He stood up, dropped the mic, and left.
At least he didn't drop something.
Well, I'm glad he did. You brief him to leave it on? That way we can get.
Yeah.
download.
So, in fact, based on that, I'm going to go ahead and kill the live stream here, everybody. Dizzy badass. Dizzy.
Blah!
Yeah.
Tongue
Greg
twister.
Thornton. That's great. Greg Thornton says he can attest. It's only a lot of reading if you do it.
F.A. Cotton.
Yeah. And then Let's see. I thought I saw someone else here too. Drill Pickles here. Yeah. Pickles aboard. So, bunch of the regular listeners. Appreciate you all being here.
Thanks, gents.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and end the stream so we can get this thing producicated. So, take care, everyone. Have a great holiday season. We'll be back recording more before Christmas, I'm sure. Talk to you soon. Oh, we need to do a hangout. We'll figure out a hangout before Christmas. What do you think, Fig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
We'll make it
that
so.
idea.
All right. Take care, everyone.